think that I am peasant, I stuck in the future, but I'm never looking at the fucking present. Keep it up, act like you're all that. Here's a cookie too.
We'll get back to that later. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. I did not plan to cover anything else relating to Bryan Kohberger, but today's victim impact statements were just so moving and emotional, and I wanted to point out or just watch together the few that really stood out to me. One being, of course, Steve Gonsalves, and just how I'll tell you, the Gonsalves family, they truly just have this power to them, this dominance that I'm just like, you can't help but to just be enthralled, because you're like, oh my God, like they bring the power when they come into the room and they demand it. And I love that, because I guarantee you that you could hear a pin drop in that courtroom when Steve Gonsalves took the podium and completely maneuvered it to face Bryan Kohberger. And that is what I first want to get into, is that part. He would be, here's Steve here. I really thought he would be the longest, because he didn't agree with the plea deal. He is very, very vocal about his feelings, which rightfully so. And I just really thought he was going to really be running this sentencing. And when he ended so quickly, I'm like, wow, that's surprising. Well, that's because Olivia, his oldest daughter, was going up after him. And let me tell you, this girl brought down the freaking house. So let's go ahead and start with Steve, but I want to get him as he comes in. What? Actually, should I zoom in on Kohberger? Let's just watch that again. He comes in and demands. We're going to pause and look right at Kohberger. I'll zoom in.
Your Honor, next would be members from the Kaylee Gonsalves family. First will be her father, Steve Gonsalves.
Right at this moment, I was actually texting my sister and I was like, I need somebody to pop the fuck off soon, because people are being way too nice. This is a quadruple homicide. This man is evil as hell. I need somebody to be flying across the room. Then she's like, we're going to be calling the Gonsalves family Steve Gonsalves. I'm like, oh, say less. Let's do it. So here comes Steve. We're going to watch him move this podium. I feel like Kohberger actually gulps a little bit. This lady right here just pissed me off the whole time. Let me see how close I can get to him. Okay, we're going to listen to Steve.
Today, we are here to finish what you started. Today, you've lost control. Today, we are here to prove to the world that you picked the wrong families. The wrong state, the wrong police officers, the wrong community. You tried to break our community apart. You tried to plant fear. You tried to divide us. You failed. Instead, your actions have united everyone in their disgust for you. I just learned from these lead investigators, to their shock, they worked in an investigation and actually worked with Pennsylvania police officers and the federal
to pause for 1 second. One thing that I noticed about Brian Koberger, and I'm not a body expert analyst or anything. I just watch I consume a lot of this kind of stuff. Brian Koberger, now obviously we're not there in the courtroom with him, so we don't know 1000% if his skin changes a different color, when people start getting embarrassed or if they start getting overwhelmed or stressed. Sometimes people break out in hives, they get a little red. He just maintains the same composure throughout the entire time. The entire time. We're talking like 2.5 hours of, constant, and then people are expressing how much they hate him, and he doesn't do anything. One thing that I did notice that he did do is kind of does this almost what it seems like a pacifying behavior, where he'll rock that chair back and forth a little bit, or he will nod just the slightest bit of a nod. Not a nod as in like you're correct, but a nod as in like he's self-soothing himself, maybe. I don't know.
FBI, you united everyone. Everyone was united after you. None of us are divided. We are united in our disgust and our love for these children. Today you have no name. Because when this all started, we all came together and we said, let's stop even talking about his name and just use initials. So even the media just calls you BK. That's all you are.
Shit, let's just start calling him by his inmate number. In fact, I went on Ada County Jail and I was trying to look him up and he's not even in their system. So I don't know what the hell's going on.
Looking back when the police officers knocked on my door, told me what happened to my child, told me what happened to Maddie Mae, I don't think he was even out of the driveway before my kids turned around, looked at me and said, "What do we do, Dad?" I told him, "You get to work. You get your ass to work." And we started calling, we started texting, we started emailing. And you know what? Within hours, we had your white car on the camera. We knew from the very beginning we had you. Police officers tell us within minutes they had your DNA, like a calling card. You were that careless, that foolish, that stupid. Master degree, you're a joke, complete joke.
Another thing I noticed, Ann Taylor, who's his blonde defense attorney, she's normally very always has this during the plea hearing, she has this little grin. Not today. She's actually pretty freaking sad and withered away. It's this one who keeps this grin the entire time.
We took this disaster and we did what we could. We put everything online. We took our kids, we took our images, we took everything that they did, their videos, their photos, the girls' pranks, Ethan singing. We put it out there, we shared it with the world. And the world united. And all they ended up, when they talked about this case, is they talked about Kaylee Jade, Maddie Mae, Xana, and Ethan. Everything what these people meant to us, a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, we shared that with our community. Then we shared it with our state. We shared it with the country. And eventually we shared it with the world. The world's watching because of the kids. Nobody cares about you. You're not worth the time, the effort to be remembered. In time, you will be nothing but two initials forgotten to the wind. No visitors, nothing more than initials on an otherwise unmarked tombstone. From this moment, we've all started. From this moment, we will forget you. We want to all leave in closing. One last thing. You picked the wrong family, and we're laughing at you on your trip to Penn. That will be today or tomorrow. I'll close with, God bless all the men and women that worked on this case and all the hard work that you guys did. You guys allowed us to grieve and allowed us to get through this. The amount of work that you guys put together and the way that you guys put it together was beautiful. There was hard times to be expected, but thank you all. God bless.
Thank you.
Your Honor, next is
So I don't know if Steve Gonzalez was somewhat sarcastic or somewhat being sarcastic about that, because him and the prosecutors were beefing apparently the whole time, because and then afterwards they held kind of like a small press conference before the real press conference started, and the son of Steve Gonzalez, Kaylee's brother, was literally reading off all the different cases in which, I think his name is Bill Thompson, is the prosecutor here, just allowed people to take plea deals and they were like out of prison in 5 years. Just, they don't fuck with each other, basically. They're not happy with him, and I can understand that. Next, we're going to get into Kaylee's oldest sister, Olivia Gonzalez, and let me tell you, jaw dropping. So I know this girl is going to get signed with something, either writing a book, I don't know what it is, but her way with words is so beautiful, so powerful. And I'm going to mute my mic because it is just, it's insane. Let's get into it.
Kaylee's sister.
Hello, I'd like to start by thanking the court for allowing me the time and opportunity to speak today. My name is Olivia, and I am the big sister of Kaylee Gonzalez, and I was blessed to love Madison Mogan as a sister too. I'm not here today to speak in grief, I'm here to speak in truth. Because the truth is, my sister Kaylee and her best friend Maddie were not yours to take. They were not yours to study, to stalk, or to silence. They were two pieces of a whole, the perfect yin and yang. They are everything that you could never be. Loved, accepted, vibrant, accomplished, brave, and powerful. Because the truth about Kaylee and Maddie is they would have been kind to you. If you had approached them in their everyday lives, they would have given you directions, thanked you for the compliment, or awkwardly giggled to make your own words less uncomfortable for you. In a world that rejected you, they would have shown mercy. Because the truth is, I'm angry. Every day I'm angry. I'm left shouting at the inside of my own head everything I wish I could say to you. The truth about me is when I heard the news, I didn't cry. I listened for them. I promised them I would. That I would fight for them, that I would show up, no matter what it cost me. I swore I'd never let them feel alone. Because you see, I've always been their heavyweight. I've always been the one to fight the battles they didn't feel ready to fight themselves. All it ever took was a call, and they knew I would handle it for them, no matter the time, no matter the cost. They could wave their white flag because they knew I would never back down. Not for them, and not even death could change that. Somewhere along the line, I started to think about what I would say to them if I was given just one last chance. if I could gather enough heartbreak or love or sacrifice or whatever it took to get just one message across. What would I say? Throughout this entire process, I've written my feelings down at every moment, my wishes, my love, my denial, my anger. And as one final act of love, I'd planned to read these thoughts, even jarring and discombobulating and not even making sense. Because for me, that was true love. As bare and as naked as it could be, not laced in pretty words or dressed for the occasion, but written through bleary eyes at 2 a.m. with clenched fists, angry at this reality. My true final act of love was to continue on without them, for them. That dream to read aloud my love to them, to bring meaning through pain, was the latest blow in realizing you don't deserve it. And Kaylee and Maddie don't need it. Kaylee and Maddie have always known my love, and they would never ask me to prove it by further victimizing myself to a defendant who has shown no guilt, no remorse, no apprehension. They would say to me, "Why would you give the satisfaction of showing vulnerability now? You promised you would never back down." And for that clarity, I'm thankful. I won't stand here and give you what you want. I won't offer you tears. I won't offer you trembling. Disappointments like you thrive on pain, on fear, and on the illusion of power. And I won't feed your beast. Instead, I will call you what you are: sociopath, psychopath, murderer. I will ask the questions that reverberate violently in my own head, so loudly that I can't think straight most any day. Some of these might be familiar, so sit up straight when I talk to you.
Oh my God. When she said that, I about fucking died. Still, no reaction from him. None. But the judge, hang on, let me go out on the judge really quick. Because he is like, hell yes, I love this girl. So do we. We love her too.
How was your life right before you murdered my sisters? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your apartment? Please detail what you were.
This literally made the entire sentencing. The main thing that everybody was like, okay, we want to ask these questions. He should have to answer these questions. We knew that his right is to stay silent, right? But the fact that she incorporated the questions into her statement, oh my gosh, just beautiful.
Thinking and feeling at this time. Why did you choose my sisters? Before making your move, did you approach my sisters? Detail what you were thinking and feeling. Before leaving their home, is there anything else you did? How does it feel to know the only thing you failed more miserably at than being a murderer is trying to be a rapper?
Hey God, we have to see his rap video really quick. 1 second.
Always the same thing that disrupts my life. Wonder when I'll change. I guess when the time is right. Procrastinating, mind arranged to change would be a fight. So I'm passing fists like I'm afraid to get a bloody fist. Look at this, my mind is pissed and I keep running. Why is this? When I hit it, always lose them stunning. Always gentle giant, no defiance, all build an alliance and still think that I am peasant. I stuck in the future, but I'm never looking at the fucking present. Keep it up, act like you're all that.
Recently start shaving or manually pulling out your eyebrows?
Clock it. Clock it.
Why November 13th? Did you truly think your Amazon purchase was untraceable because you used a gift card?
Are you, Papa Roger?
How do you find it enjoyable to stargaze with such a severe case of visual snow?
Clocked.
Where is the murder weapon? The clothes you wore that night? What did you bring into the house with you?
I need her to be an actress as well because, oh my God.
What was the second weapon you used on Kaylee? What were Kaylee's last words? Please describe in detail the level of anxiety you must have felt when you heard the Bearcat pull up to your family home on December 30th, 2022. Which do you regret more? Returning to the crime scene 5 hours later, or never, ever going back to Moscow, not even once, after stalking them there for months? If you were really smart, do you think you'd be here right now?
Damn.
What's it like needing this much attention just to feel real? You're terrified of being ordinary, aren't you? Do you feel anything at all? Or are you exactly what you always feared? Nothing. If you're so powerful, then why are you still hiding, defendant? You see, I'm here today as me. But who are you? Let's try to take off your mask and see. You didn't create devastation. You revealed it in yourself. And that darkness you carry, that emptiness, you'll sit with it long after this is over. That is your sentence. And it was written on the wall long before you ever pled guilty. You didn't win. You just exposed yourself as the coward you are. You're a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser who thought you were so much smarter than everybody else.
He's nodding there. He was slightly nodding.
Constantly scolding, turning your nose up to grammar mistakes, nitpicking and criticizing others. You wanted so badly to be different, to be special, to be better, to be deep, to be mysterious. You found yourself thinking you were better than everyone else, and you thought you could figure out the human psyche and see through it, all while tweaked out on heroin.
Damn.
Lurking in the shadows made you feel powerful because no one ever paid you any attention in the light. You thought you were exceptional, all because of a grade on a paper. You thought you were elite because your online IQ test from 2010 told you so. All of that effort just to seem important. It's desperate. There is a name for your condition, though. Your inflated ego just didn't allow you to see it. Wannabe. You act like no one could ever understand your mind, but the truth is you're basic. You're a textbook case of insecurity disguised as control. Your patterns are predictable. Your motives are shallow. You are not profound. You're pathetic.
Damn.
You aren't special or deep, not mysterious or exceptional. Don't ever get it twisted again. No one is scared of you today. No one is intimidated by you. No one is impressed by you. No one thinks that you are important. You orchestrated this like you thought you were God. Now look at you, begging a courtroom for scraps.
Damn.
You spent months preparing, and still all it took was my sister in a sheath. You work so hard to seem dangerous, but real control doesn't have to prove itself. The truth is, the scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Let me be very clear. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you.
Damn.
You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most.
Brace yourselves because, oh my God.
If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your fucking ass. Thank you.
Thank you.
Whoa. Okay. Holy shit. I do want to, I know I'm like pulling the screen so much. This right here, I believe, is Koberger's father. I don't know what Koberger's mom looks like. I've never seen her. This is the first movement he's made in a while. Also, I did not notice this paper with like a giant heart and something. I don't know if he was like coloring. I'm not sure. I happened to come across it when I was trying to find if they had taken new pictures of him after being sentenced. Oh, excuse me, been a long day. And for some reason people were talking about what was on the desk and I didn't notice it before. But when I watched the entire trial when I was running on the treadmill today. So not trial, sentencing. What do we have next? Okay. So then they take a break and Judge Hippler does a great Judge Hippler does great. And then there was a press conference held. And I want to bring that up and share my thoughts about it. Hang on, let's fix this. So then there was this press conference. And I'm thinking, okay, the gag order has been lifted. Brian Koberger is now sentenced. Let's hear some real evidence. Let's hear some shit, because prior to this press conference, Steve Gonsalves and his wife, Christy, revealed that Kaylee had 34 stab wounds and that she was also hit with a second object, which she did. I think that sister Olivia spoke about that. So I'm thinking, okay, they're going to have this press conference. We're going to get some new details. We're going to find some stuff out. They're going to start really talking to us. Nope. I'm not even going to play it because we learned absolutely nothing. All they did was pat each other on the back for this and that. And we learned absolutely nothing. I did hear that, I think it was through News Nation, that there possibly could be some police reports released tonight into tomorrow, but there'll still be stuff that's redacted. But according to what am I saying? Nothing else for like a long time. And here's what I have a problem with. Okay, so there's this case, and I'll put I actually just covered this case with Aiden Fucci, Tristan Bailey. They're teenagers. Tristan Bailey was 13 or 14. He was 14. She was 13. He stabbed Tristan Bailey, I think it was like over 142 times. And we got all the evidence. Now, I know that this is a different state and every state varies. And that happened here in Florida. And basically anything happens here in Florida, we find everything out. I don't know what's going on, if this is like normal in that county, but it feels to me like things are being hidden. I don't understand why. I don't understand why we don't know the specifics. If we knew the specifics about Tristan Bailey, who was 13 years old, she's a minor. We knew the exact stab wounds, and he pled. Aiden Fucci pled. There wasn't a trial. And I don't get it, and it makes me feel weird. It makes me feel like something is amiss, and I don't like that. So we will see what happens over the next few days, few weeks, few months, possibly a few years. But we're done with Brian Koberger. It has been a hell of a week, and it's only Wednesday. Monday we had Stephen Stearns, which I covered that sentencing. We had him plead guilty, and his trial was about to start, his first one. And then today we had Brian Koberger's sentencing. So it's been a whirlwind. It's really funny and ironic because they're both death penalty cases. And I just think it's pretty crazy that the two men that are not afraid to take people's lives are scared of theirs being taken. That's all I have for you guys for today. I will see you in the next one. Bye.
That I am present, I stuck in the future, but I'm never looking at the fucking present.